Hi, Sharon here with Down Home Wicks. I'm the owner of Down Home Wicks, which is a candle store in Michigan, and I'm here today to talk to you about owning a candle business, whether you're in a store environment or online. I want to talk to you about how much money you can make selling candles. Candle making business can be profitable. I work full time and I make candles part time, and I still make about $1,000 to $2,000 a month selling candles. My biggest months, of course, are the holiday season. That's when I make the most money. Everyone's looking for a gift. A candle is kind of a universal gift. You can give a candle for, a friend, a family member, a teacher, a co-worker. Candles are kind of universal. There's nothing, super personal other than a fragrance. And it works out really well. Uh, if you want to get started making a candle business, one of the first things that you can do is buy a candle kit, start doing your research, practicing. That's how I started. I started doing craft shows, and doing different vendor shows, going to different craft fairs. One way you can get to know the people is to actually go there, talk to the organizers so that you can get into the show and get to know the people. Maybe you can sign up, make a few candles. You don't have to make a whole lot. You can go, just for the experience. You don't have to, you can make a dozen candles and just still do a candle show, get your name out there and um, sell. You start out with 5 fragrances or something in your candle kit. Um, experience the whole part of candle making and the business, and that's how I learned to do it. I learned by doing. It's not something that you can learn by watching. You really need to learn by doing. And that's how I got into the shows too, is I actually went to the show. The biggest show I ever did was the Women's International Show. I did that like 3 years in a row. It's a really huge show. You can only, every show I pretty much sold out. You can only earn as much money as what you have on the table. So say for example, if I sell these for $5 a piece, if all I have is 3 candles, you can only make $15. So take that into consideration. If you want to do a show and my booth rental for the show was for 4 days and it was $1,100. So to make my money back, I needed, I don't know, $3,000 in candles. That's a lot of candles. So you have to prepare for shows. One issue that I ran into a lot was if I had back to back to back shows, if I sold out on a show, I didn't have candles for the following show, which meant that whole week I had to make a ton of candles in order to make the next show. So that's something that you need to plan out. If you want to make $500 that weekend at a really big show, you need a lot of candles. You need 100 candles to make $500 and so on. So you need to plan all of that out. So that leads you to, how much inventory do you really need to launch? Well, how much money do you really want to make? That's what determines what your inventory is. And you don't have to have that much inventory, but that's what your cap is going to be. I just kept my excess inventory, underneath my table, and I kept my table filled. And then as my table emptied out, I just kept refilling. So I had a lot of inventory. The inventory software that I used was Square. I like the Square software. It allows me to, and I still do shows, even though I have the booth. I still, every now and then I do shows. It gets your name out there. It's advertising. They allow me to sync my inventory on their app. I can take credit card payments on my phone, which is great. And then they allow you, as every product is set up, they allow you to share that link. And then people, like if you share that link to Facebook, somebody can click on that link and buy that product right from there. You don't have to have a website. You can just share that link if you wanted to. One of the best ways, I think, to get traffic to sell online or to start selling online, you can sell right on Pinterest. You can post a picture. Pinterest probably is, in my opinion, the best place to get traffic would be to post a picture, and then where it says website or link, just put your Square link. And when they click on the picture, it's going to go right there. It's like having a website without having a website. if that makes any sense. And then you can sell it right on Pinterest. It's really easy to do. The other thing too is if you're selling candles, make sure that you meet all the legal requirements. Where I'm at, I'm set up permanently in a booth. I'm actually a business. So yes, I have to have a business license. With that license, I have to have insurance. When you check with your farmer's market or your craft show organizer and ask if you need insurance or if you need a license, most of them you don't. I don't think I ever did until I actually opened the booth. I have bought insurance early on just for my own peace of mind. You're selling, a little fireball, so you might want to consider insurance. It's not really that expensive in the grand scheme of things. Do check with your homeowner's insurance in the event that you start a fire or something or damage something goes wrong. Say something else happens, say your kitchen catches on fire and all of your product gets ruined for whatever reason. In your candle business, you're operating out of your dining room and you lose all of your product because of something else happened in your home. Do they cover the contents of your product? You don't want to lose your candle business because something else happened. So you want to make sure the contents in your home owners is covered. Trademarks, you want to make sure that your images are your images. Don't use somebody else's images. You could get kind of caught up in that. I did make some notes. I'm kind of looking at my notes. Scaling, you'll learn to scale. And you learn as you do things. I'm going to make some more videos now that with the pandemic, I have some more time. I'm temporarily closed. I'm going to make some videos, give you as many tips as I can. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below and ask me while I have time. It's really about timing for me. Like I said, I make candles during the week. I love to make candles and I make them on the weekends. And there's a lot of timing issues for me. I run the booth over the weekend, so I'm going to be switching to tins. I'll have to tell you how that works out. I want to do that so that my shipping is cheaper. It's one way to ship cheaper. So when you're starting out too, you want to, take things like that into consideration. The tins, really the cost for the tin or the jar is about the same, but it only weighs a fraction of what the glass weighs and it's easier to ship. So this might be a cheaper route for me to go. I can offer free shipping. All I have to worry about is the weight of the wax, compared to the jar. Plus these, it's way more fragile. So I might, those are things that you have to take into consideration. So if you're going to launch a candle business, you need a plan. You need to plan out your inventory, what you're going to do. You need to plan out your workspace, where you're going to work. I work in a 14 by 14 room. Originally it was my dining room. I've kind of taken over. As you can see, my office is kind of like in the corner of my room. I have off to the side all my supplies. I store stuff under a table. I have wax in bins. I have jars and closets. I have to scale, you need to take that in consideration. Are you going to make a couple of hundred candles to do shows, or are you going to make candles by the hundreds? Are you going to buy wax in bags? Are you going to buy wax by the case? Or are you going to buy wax by the pallets? Those are things that you need to talk about and that you need to work through. If you're not an experienced candle maker, you should start out with a candle kit. Do you even like making candles? Work your way up, get some experience, do some testing, and then scale it up from there. There are things that you learn along the way by making candles that you wouldn't learn otherwise. And if you start out and overwhelm yourself, it could be very difficult. So that's pretty much all I have. Yeah, if you think of anything, put your questions in the comments and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Like I said, I do a side business and I still work. I enjoy making candles. So if I can do it, you can do it. And there's room for everyone here. So if you want more tips, I'm going to give you as much as I got. So make sure you like and subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.